Good morning, Kitchen Witches. Today is Monday, June 29th, and also the full moon. So, happy full moon of June. It is a strawberry moon, and we'll get to more of that later. But for today, this is your tarot and menu planning inspiration for the day. I'm Chef Lisa, editor-in-chief of A Chef's Grimoire magazine. And that's what we do here. We're going to pull one card. That's going to be everything we need to know for the day. So what is that card for Monday the 29th? A full moon, time to celebrate all our wins on this June 29th. Ready? The Fool. So, being a Monday, a new work week, the end of a cycle, right? So think of the full moon as the world card, right? Its journey has finished. It's at its most illuminated. It's ready to take on its 10 minutes of fame for all the wonderful things it's done in the last 28 to 30 days. And now it's time to celebrate. But what happens after the celebration? We go back to number 1 or void, 0, right? To start something new. Number 1 is the magician. But the fool has not yet met the magician. We're meeting the fool for the first time, right? So I want to show you something. Let's see if I can find a major arcana here. Okay, no, this is good. No, this is good. Okay. So I want you to notice something about the numbering here. It's important. Everything that's pictured in a tarot card is symbolic, right? Or not symbolic, but in the forefront, right? Like obviously the way the fool is dressed. Yes, it's symbolic because at the time that this card was created and also in the world of the actual fools and or jesters in the courts of the kings and queens, the dress was definitely a symbol of their place in life, right? As it is even today. So anyway, getting back to the numbers, I want you to see this number, the way it's numbered is 0, right? Like that. But taking the strength card, look at how it's numbered. So this is the numeral, oh goodness, I can't speak. It's like 5:30 in the morning. This is the alpha numeral way of presenting numbers. And this is the Roman numeral way of presenting numbers. So I'm just stating that because it is an important factor with the Fool. Why? Because it brings the Fool away from the rest of the majors. Yes, the Fool is a major arcana, but they are the ones that take the journey through the rest of the cards and meet them as an archetype, the rest of the majors, and learn from what they have to teach them. So it's the Fool's journey, right? And that's for the major arcana. Then we get into the minor arcana, which we know almost all of the minor arcanas are ruled by one of the major or several majors, but it comes to it really depends on the numbers. So our Fool. Fool starts the journey. They're the void, right? They are the ones with all of the elements inside of them, giving them a push off of the precipice, which is where they're about to walk off of, and pushes them into that new journey. Now, in a day, you could start several journeys, right? It's a work week. It's a new work week. You could arrive to work and have a pile of new things on your desk. They're all each their own journey, right? Or if you're not working, you could, I don't know, be in your garden and see, oh, this plant isn't doing so well. It needs to be moved from point A to point B to get better hydration, better sunlight, whatever it is. But that moving from one thing to another is a journey for you. It's a brand new journey, right? So where I'm going with this, it doesn't matter how big and grandiose it is. It could be itty bitty. But everything we do or start and then has a middle and an ending is a journey. So when we're going through our day and have the Fool in mind, we're going to be thinking about all the things we're starting, right? And our inner understanding of how that thing is going to end. Is it going to end favorably? Is it going to have conflicts in the middle where you need to really put more effort into that thing than, say, the other thing? All of those things are just having the Fool in your forefront of your mind today, right? Starting new things. And where is that journey going to lead you? So we need to be nourished on the journey. So let me see if I can consult my cheat sheet. I got hungry cats, so be careful. When you have a hungry cat, yeah, you know, if you're a cat owner, you gotta make haste. All right, I can't get my computer to work. There. And the Fool. Beautiful. So I'm thinking for breakfast, we're gonna make it easy. We're gonna make simple meals, right? So we're going to do hard-boiled eggs, and you could do this 10 minutes before you go to work. Do a hard-boiled egg, and we're going to slice up an avocado, and we're going to put all that in a lovely either glass or stainless steel container so we can eat it on the road, right? Simple, nourishing, but out the door, ready to start the new day. So, hard-boiled eggs couldn't be easier. My way of doing it, I get a pot on the stove, I bring it to a vigorous boil. And then I take my egg, which I have in a slotted spoon, and you could do several eggs at a time, depending on the size of your pot, depending on how much water you have in it. You could do 12 eggs at a time. It's up to you. But, for me, maybe 1 or 2 eggs. Put them in a slotted spoon, and then you lower them slowly into the vigorously boiling water. Just water, no salt, no oil, nothing, just water. And then you gently release them at the bottom of the water. And from there, you're going to boil them. Turn the heat down a little bit so they're not overflowing, but you're going to boil them for about 11 to 12 minutes. And when they come out of the water, you're going to strain them and put them immediately in either an ice bath. So take ice from your refrigerator ice maker with a bowl of water, and you put the eggs in there immediately once they're out of the hot water. If you don't have ice, you could just use cold tap water, and you'll have to drain it off and add new, and drain it off and add new, so the water is continually cool and doesn't warm up from the hot egg. But if you have the ice, you don't need to do that. You just put them in the ice bath. What you're doing is you're stopping the cooking process, because if you just take the eggs out of the water and you just left them on your countertop until you're ready to peel them and they're cool, they're going to continue cooking. And what happens with an egg is it gets like this greenish brown circle around the yolk. And that means that it's been overcooked. So you want it to be a sunshiny, bright yellow yolk and a vibrant white casing, right? Or white. That's a perfect hard-boiled egg. So now your eggs are boiled and chilled. You're going to peel them. And the beauty in making them the way that I made them is you're shocking the eggs twice, right? Once when they go into the hot water and twice when they go into the cold ice bath. But the hot water is going to shock them in a way that peel that is the hardest thing about peeling eggs doesn't stick to the egg itself. Instead, it kind of pulls away from the egg and pulls itself to the shell. And it just helps in the peeling of the eggs, right? You should peel them beautifully, no problem. Now you've got peeled egg. You could do one of two things. You could slice it and salt it, and then slice up your avocado and maybe do a piece of egg, a piece of avocado, a piece of egg, a piece of avocado in like a fallen domino effect in the container. Beautiful presentation and delicious to eat. Or you could just throw that whole egg into the container and throw 2 halves pitted avocado into the container, and with a spoon just spoon it out and a little salt on the egg. It's going to make it taste better. That's breakfast. Done. In a fool way. A foolish way. Okay, so moving on to lunch. Couldn't be easier. And this is even something you can do if you're in the office today and all they have is a microwave in a little room that says lunch room or whatever it is, right? It's a baked potato with butter. That's it. Easy. So bring yourself, when you're putting that container of hard-boiled eggs and avocado with you, throw in a russet potato. And when you get to work, you can dock it with the tines of a fork so that it doesn't explode in the microwave, and put it in the microwave. That's a choice, right? I would not microwave my russet potato. Instead, I like it crispy outside. So if you have an oven at work, or if you're home today and working from home, do it in the oven. A russet potato will, after it's docked and stuck onto the grates of the oven, you don't even need to put it on a tray, will bake in approximately, if it's like a size this big, approximately an hour, maybe an hour 15, but check it after like an hour at 375, 400. I usually do mine at 400. And you'll know it's done when you can insert the fork and there's little to no resistance and you can hear the crispness of the outside of the potato. Perfect for eating. Remove it, take a knife and either slice off the top or take the knife and slice into it lengthwise, not going through the bottom, just through the top. And then squeeze it so that all of the fluffy potato comes almost oozing over the crunchy shell. And then put lots of copious salted butter on top. It's a delicious lunch. Compliments of the fool. All right, dinner. So dinner, simple, because it's the fool. I'm thinking just a seared steak with some rice. That's it. If you want to add a veg, terrific. The fool would probably forget the vegetable because they're like a meat and potato person. But yeah, broccoli, green beans, cauliflower, whatever you want to do, but make it easy. Yes, make it easy on yourself. So the steak, if you've got your grill set up for the summer, throw it on there. Throw your potatoes on there, right? Potatoes. Throw your vegetable on there. Make a kebab if you wish, right? However you want to do it, that's easy for you. For me, it's just throwing the steak on the grill. Rice will be the most difficult part because, believe it or not, for the one ingredient, a lot of people have issues with rice, and I was one of them for the longest time. I mean, think about it. Most Asian families have a rice maker. They don't even do it by hand anymore. So if you have a rice maker, great, that's even easier. If you don't, then I would suggest you get your pot of water. You're rinsing your rice. That's important. So put the allotted amount of rice you want to use into a pot of water. Go over to the sink and rinse it. Agitate it with your hands and then pour the liquid out of the pot. It's going to be like a white white-ish, right? It's got the proteins in it. The proteins turn white in the water. So you're trying to get the rice as the liquid as water as possible without white in it, but you're never going to get it to the point where it's crystal clear. So you just keep pouring the water off, maybe 5 times, and then you fill the pot again with water. You let the rice sit on the counter for maybe 10 to 15 minutes. That's called the soaking process. And what it's doing is, if it's brown rice, it's going to open the bran a little bit so that the rice will be fluffier and cook faster. And if it's white rice, it's just going to plump up the rice a little bit more so that it becomes fluffier and cooks faster. So you've done all that. Now you're ready to cook. You could pour off the soaking liquid and then add fresh when you're ready to go. But the liquid needs to be about 1 inch over the rice. So you can measure it. And the way I measure it is I take my finger, and here's my pot of rice, and the rice is submerged under the water. I take my finger and I just touch the top of the rice. And the water should come up to the first bend in my finger. And that's why I know I have enough water for the rice. You bring it to a boil, and you boil it like pasta. So now it's boiling, boiling, boiling until you can't see any of the surface water anymore. And it looks like there's little craters in the rice. At that point, turn your heat all the way down to low, cover it, and let it cook for the rest of the 15 minutes. When it's done, remove the lid, put a towel over it. First, make sure there's no liquid left. So that you could do that by just tilting the pan. There should be no liquid running. Then put a towel over it, whether it be paper towel or a clean dish towel, over the pot and the lid back on. And what the towel is going to do is prevent the condensation from coming back up from the rice and coming into the rice to make it mushy while you're waiting for your steak and your vegetable. When you remove the lid and you're ready to eat, it's fluffy, beautiful rice every time. Compliments of the Fool. So, today, think about all the journeys you're starting, big or little. Think about their outcome, think about the journey, and nourish yourself with some really simple meals. Nourish all of those around you with your kitchen magic. See you tomorrow.